A special operations force, with a unit that specializes in defending objectives. They are stone walls, modern-day walled archers, raining lead onto the target from a setup position. Welcome to Battlefield Weapon Blueprints, where we'll take a look at the Crimson Lotus Royal Bastion machine gunner. Our mission is quite simple. Being the only defensive unit of our faction, we need to be able to send a lot of firepower downrange and set up in a way that we can be mobile should our position become compromised. A perfect fit for this role is the L110, a faster firing option with a large capacity that will create doubt in our foes' minds about taking another step. Our modern take on a hailstorm of arrows to guard those within the walls, the lighter recoil of the 5.56 NATO round does help us if we are on the move. To add intimidation factor, we'll be choosing the Canis Lupus package. With our criteria laid out in front of us, the most obvious first choice is the bipod. A necessity to our defensive role, this attachment allows us to secure our weapons to a base and give us a massive boost in accuracy when shooting in this setup position. While we do lose the more aggressive recoil reduction of the grips, our mission profile forces us towards a stationary playstyle. So watch out for high traffic sniper locations, as being bipoded does leave you vulnerable to an easy shot. The benefits of being able to reach further in your suppressive fire could also be used to deter your would-be assassin by spraying their location with lead. Speaking of reaching farther out, the Baker 3x zoom scope will allow us to better visualize targets at a distance, extending our kill zone with mid-range targets becoming a lot more obtainable, and allow us to suppress farther targets from pushing too close. But remember that even though the bipod and the Baker scope can reach targets at a greater distance, snipers can still have eyes looking through their higher magnification scopes, and you should avoid trying to engage these glints directly. If you want to suppress these hunters, you should find a well-hidden spot to do so. Another helpful attachment for us to have a larger area of control is the 465mm LB. The extended heavy option that will give us a boost in bullet velocity while also taking longer for the heat of extended fire to affect our accuracy thanks to the thicker barrel. The higher velocity will also help us with intercepting anyone that decides to cross from cover to cover, lessening their chance to succeed with their plan. With talks of defending and raining lead on our enemies, we have yet to talk about the two most important picks. First up, with our limited budget, we'll have no other choice but to downgrade our capacity to the 100 round belt pouch option. Even though 200 rounds would fit our role better, we're sacrificing this aspect to better round the gun in other places. 100 rounds will still do the trick, and don't forget that even with that 100 rounds, a fire rate of 720 rounds a minute will still be fast enough that if you're not careful, you will run dry and have to face a lengthy reload. The second half of that debate is one of fitting the mission profile. The tungsten core rounds give us added penetration that could negate more cover than standard ammo, giving those who are behind cover a reality check when their cover doesn't protect them as they thought it would. This does give us more confidence in firing at targets that have been forced to hide from our pressure. The downside of increased recoil is less of an issue while in our defensive position, but can lead our shots off if we are caught mid-position change. Speaking of, should we get caught in a fight with no way to set ourselves up, we do want a fighting chance to hit the target. Since we don't get the benefit of recoil reduction from the bipod or a grip, we need something to aid us. The compensated brake reduces both vertical and horizontal recoil in both mounted and unmounted, though one will be way more visible than the other. Keep in mind that every shot will reveal your position both in the world and on the mini-map. This shouldn't be too bad if you set yourself up in a well-protected position. Last up, the tactical light. This sounds like a weird inclusion here, but it does make sense if you look at it more like a spotlight. Day or night, making sure that no one can use the darkness for protection in your mission to defend. A benefit of the flashlight is that it will take longer for you to get to the maximum fire spread, and you will also get a reduction to that overall maximum spread. A makeshift solution in situation where spotlights are not available at our location. It will make you visible, of course, but you can also use this to blind opponents that have come too close. So that's our build. With budget to spare, we've created a defensive focused loadout that can still be a little effective on the move if things get overwhelmed or you're needed in a different spot. All with attachments that are available at a low mastery. Remember that even though we're most effective while set up, the longer you stand in a spot, the more likely someone will try to get their revenge. So try having a squad that can support you, as that does help to stay in a setup position for longer. The most effective usage of the loadout is to set up walls in a less traditional spot to have additional cover, or to create some that you can mount on in a pinch. Throw a supply box on the ground to keep yourself and anyone supporting you fully loaded and healed. You could also benefit from the tugs to give you and your squad intel on anyone trying to get too close, though simply having someone guard any entrance to your location could also be warning enough that your position is no longer secure. Remember to be mobile. Stop a push and then move to get set up in a new spot to continuously provide fire while also making the enemy second guess your current whereabouts. If you really want to have some fun, you can always set yourself up in a spot with a clear sight to your old position and mow down anyone who was trying to get their revenge. While the bipod might not be for everyone, you could switch it for a grip pod if you want a more mobile version of this class while keeping the ability to mount. Another option is to focus solely on the defensive aspect and spend most of your budget on the upgrade to your ammo capacity. With 10 points already set aside to a sight, you could also switch the 3x to any optics that you prefer. A rapid, mounted defensive loadout that can reach out at long ranges. One that can also cause mild annoyance to light vehicles and to force foes from behind light cover. The name of the game here is to create a more favorable situation and to lure the enemy into a rapid fire trap, or one that makes them rethink a new strategy. Our loadout's doctrine is more about defense than offense, and one that relies on teamwork and other parts of our forces to balance any situation that might turn into an unfavorable one for us. Just remember to defend those from our Bastion. Show no mercy and protect at all costs. Just remember that no matter what happens, sooner or later, we might all end up with a mini-me. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Weapon Blueprints.